Sit thee down, beautiful people, and welcome to Men in Sheds, episode 21. From within
the confines of the most glorious of sheds.
the most sheddy of sheds.
The most luxurious of sheds we own.
We've had to drive about half a mile out of town.
Yeah.
Park in a field, climb into the back together of my tinted Jeep.
And all
to get away from the noise. The noise of a concert taking place right behind the podding shed.
A charity festival. For charity. Yeah, it's loud enough that actually if we wound these windows down, you could probably hear it lilting across the valley. Well, I say lilting across the valley. Jilting.
That's more like
it's more like
pretty
it.
bad.
But it doesn't matter because we get to sit in the beautiful confines of the GTIA. It's most luxurious. So if you hear squeaking, it's either us on the leather or your weird HVAC system that groans a bit now.
Let's not talk about that. Right then.
Right, let's get into it.
Fossil fuel timelines.
Oh, you've been at work with this.
Well, everyone's announced it. All these countries
I've got
now.
armrests.
All these countries now are all saying we're going to ban the sale of petrol cars by X. So you're all wondering when and where. Okay, so this is
get your ears on.
This is banning the sale of new cars. I mean, you're not allowed to drive your old one.
Very true.
Norway and maybe the Netherlands, 2025.
Wowzers!
Leading the way, Vikings always going for
always on the attack.
Germany, 2030.
Yeah,
they're getting in quite early.
Well, not too bad.
You're not surprised by this one. India, 2030.
Wow,
that's big claims, that isn't it? Big claims.
That's 10 years. Isn't that 10 years before us?
In all fairness, the only car they sell in India is like the Trabant, isn't it?
How dare you?
How
do you know the Maruti Gypsy? Which is basically a Suzuki SJ.
Probably not classed as a car over there or something. Well,
I think that's impressive. I think that's more impressive than us saying 2040.
Well, France 2040, UK 2040.
Cop out.
China want to do it undecided when.
That's because China will be like, well, it'll either be next week or in 20 years' time. We're not sure because they just decide something. They'll just be like, we'll just do it.
And then everyone will have to do it. You see, the advantage of a communist dictatorship.
Exactly. You just kill everyone who doesn't get rid of their petrol cars immediately.
So it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. But look at that, 2025. That's a while away, isn't it? 7 years.
7 years.
7 years. Like ages.
So, but as we said, it doesn't mean that you can't have a petrol car. It just means you can't buy a new one. Which is an important distinction, isn't it? Because everyone, when all this first kicked off, everyone was like, "What about my petrol car?" But it's not about that. It's just about
your petrol
new
car.
stuff. And isn't that just? Is that? I might be asking too much of a question. Is that just pure petrol? Does that include like a hybrid?
Well,
because this is it. It's like Volvo, isn't it? Volvo say they're not going to sell any pure petrol cars anymore, which is true, but they're going to still sell hybrids. So it's kind of
big claims.
Not to criticise Volvo.
It's all political claims at this point.
It's
all just saying stuff, and they can backtrack if they want, can't they? Like,
that was the last government. It's like certain governments at the moment who are still blaming stuff on Labour, even though they've been in power for 7 years. But we won't get political.
We don't get political.
We don't get controversial or political on here.
The new 40-year cut-off. Supposedly for your MOT.
Yeah. This is a bit. Didn't it used to be 60 years? Am I right?
No, it used to be 1969.
That were it, right.
Was the year. So you could previously you could buy a car that was built before 1969, registered before 1969. You didn't need to pay tax, you didn't need an MOT.
They still sort of said it might be an idea to go for an MOT now and again, but there was no legal requirement to do so.
There wasn't, although obviously you still had to
be roadworthy
by the expectations of VOSA or whatever it is. So, it wasn't you couldn't drive a car that didn't pass an MOT. That's what I'm saying.
It's just you didn't have to go and get one.
Lots of confusion over this.
Yeah.
Lots. And a lot of people getting upset and stuff.
Clear it up for us. Clear it up. Come on. Let's go for it.
Okay, so trying to summarise it.
Yeah.
So if you have a valuable historic vehicle, which is a VH high.
Oof. What about unvaluable?
Well, I know it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? How do you
define it?
And it's completely stock.
Yeah.
You won't need to pay tax or MOT on a rolling basis once it reaches 40 years old. Nice. There's a little bit of confusion because there's this. It's not being set to come in, but there's this thing about 15% power to weight ratio increase. And that's like a separate checkbox.
Right.
And it hasn't been confirmed about whether or not that's happening.
Are they going to do that or not? Okay.
So if you've got 15% more power in terms of power to weight ratio, that
then you use,
may
then it
not
would
apply.
Crikey, that's going to get a bit messy, isn't it? Because like back in the day, it were all a bit.
Well, that's what people have been saying. People had a different way of
you don't have
define engine
horsepower rather
power.
than brake horsepower.
Yeah.
Some was crank, some was at the wheel, some is
American horsepower is only 2/3 of an English horsepower.
You got DIN and SAE, haven't you? Two different horsepowers.
SAE, that was just an engine output one. Yeah. So, and if you've got a non-standard, valuable historic vehicle, then you'll probably have to get an MOT.
Yeah.
But you won't have to pay tax.
So that's a bit of a bonus.
Now the thing is, what people think is going to happen is when you go to tax your car, you're going to be a little checkbox at the post office. When you go online, it's going to say, "Is the car modified?"
Oh yeah. And everybody being really honest.
Is the car highly modified?
Yeah, everyone being really, really honest. Of course, they're going to tick that box if they have to.
The reason why, well, the thing is, at the moment, so we've had SVA for 20 years now.
Yeah.
1988.
Wow.
Which has become BIVA.
BIVA!
And
or BIVA,
in 1988, they implemented this 8-point system.
Yeah.
I think you start with 14 points.
Yeah.
I think you've got to have 8 left.
Right.
By the end of it. And
that's a bit glass half empty, isn't it? Just taking points off you. They start with
I
0
think
and go to 8.
Works.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And you get certain points for certain things. So if the body's being changed, a certain number of points.
Yeah.
If the steering's being changed, a certain number of points. If the suspension's being changed, a certain number of points. And what that meant was if you scored 8 points, or you lost 8 points, or whatever it is, you had to go full SVA or BIVA as it is now. And that's like where you don't just take your car in for inspection. They like to see photos of the build and stuff like that.
That's the kind of thing that if you build your own Caterham at home, isn't it? That's what you have to go through.
It's basically it's the test for if a car's new.
Yeah,
that's what it is. If it's a complete scratch built car, which makes sense if you've made that many changes.
Yeah, that's it. Want to check all the bolts have done up. And
so the 8-point rule still applies. And this is why people are really panicking at the moment, because basically what's going to happen is people are going to see that chat box, and they can't argue ignorance anymore.
Yeah,
they can't say, "Oh, well, I didn't know about BIVA and all that. Oh, sorry, officer. I'll go and get the test now."
Yeah,
this
is like my engine always. They always came looking this engine with twin Webbers on the side.
Or they bought a car and they thought it had the BIVA or whatever.
Yeah.
So this now means that if you check this box and it's wrong, it's fraud, basically, and that's a criminal offence.
Tricky game to be playing, that one.
So really, a lot of people are panicking, getting upset about that whole thing. If you do it properly, if you've got a modified classic, chances are you're going to need an MOT every year anyway.
Yeah.
No big loss. You're probably just not going to pay tax.
Yeah.
If it's highly modified, you're in the MOT and tax game like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Now, a justified fear among this is that they're going to start cranking tax up.
Yeah.
For, BIVA cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Could be looking at £1,000 car tax a year, something like that.
Yeah, if you're going to go that. Yeah.
That's modified car tax, basically.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Because that's kind of, in some respects, in a very loose way, if you can kind of picture it. It's like the whole Euro thing, isn't it? Where you're only allowed to do certain things to your car, and then it just becomes prohibitively... Either you just can't do it, or it's very expensive. And maybe that's it in the future. You'll see cars that are modified, and it's all about being modified to a point, isn't it? To just hit that limit and never go past it, because you might be getting £1,000 tax a year or something like that, or vehicle excise duty, as it's.
That's what will happen, I think.
Yeah.
The government did a questionnaire, sent it out to people. Think about how many, modified car owners, or just car owners, car owners there are in the country.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
There must be millions he sent it out to.
Well, only about 10,000 responded to the questionnaire. I didn't even know this.
No, I didn't even know this was going on,
So it wasn't shared around very well, because it was a whole case of nothing will ever happen.
They should have put it on, like, your VD, the renewal forms you get or something like that. When that came
would have been sensible.
Yeah.
And the 15% power increase point wasn't in the questionnaire. This appears to be something to do with chipping diesel. Yeah, so it's emission related by the looks of things, and that's where it's been born out of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That worries me.
That's isn't that a bit more modern than the?
I know. I don't know how it's applied to historic vehicles. So I don't know whether or not we're going to find that the government starts to ask whether or not your car's producing 15% more power than it. to wait.
Yeah.
Don't matter anyway. Just stick a massive roll cage, roof rack on there. Your weight's gone up.
Yeah,
your weight's gone down.
Yeah,
you're all right.
People will be driving. The price of lead will go up.
That'll be it. They'll be
storing
like,
lead bricks around.
I always carry a 37-inch tyre as a spare on the back. Put it on about.
I'm thinking of putting a second one on actually when I've done my supercharger.
Something we've not mentioned is on a different subject. And it's just been sticking around in it. Is that we had our first coal-free day, didn't we, this year?
We did, yeah.
And we should be proud of that.
Yeah, I think so.
We are.
Yeah, no peak was needed. Well, no coal was needed even during peak, which is quite impressive.
Even during EastEnders.
Yeah, the bloody
Crikey. The
tea makers afterwards. Yeah, but that shows the mix is kind of changing, energy mix and more renewables and all that sort of stuff, and a bit cleaner, hopefully.
Good for us.
Good for us.
Because Japan.
Because Japan.
Because Japan.
Yeah.
Try not to be too racist about that.
I think we were all right with that.
Just a mildly.
I think we were just excited.
Banter. Subaru.
Yeah. So like we've talked about the Nürburgring before, but actually the Nürburgring's amazing actually, and it's really interesting. And the times that go round, they're actually really relevant to modern cars, and we should all pay more attention to. I'm joking, but
a Japanese car has gone round.
But a
set a record.
Joking aside,
set a record, haven't they?
It's set a record, but that's not important. The important thing is just go and watch the video, just the first 20 seconds maybe, because it sounds amazing.
It does sound good.
And then the other thing to do is look at pictures of it, because it looks amazing. And that's kind of the thing. I couldn't care less if it was around the Nürburgring or anything else.
It does sound amazing. It's Subaru's. It's ProDriver built it for Subaru.
Yeah.
It's very highly modified. It's basically it's a GT car with more power than a GT car is allowed to have. It's a sort of DTM car.
Yeah, it's still based on the normal vehicle.
It's the shell.
It's the shell.
Vehicle.
Well, yeah, and a bit of dashboard.
Still got a boxer engine in. They're building 500 special editions.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh no, but this is
Type
different,
RA.
isn't it? So there's this Type RA. I think it's MBR or something, isn't it? Which is Nürburgring record. But there's the Type RA MBR that you can buy, and then there's a Type RA NBR that they actually did the record in.
Yeah,
and they're not the same.
No,
not even remotely.
So the Subaru it's WRX STI, isn't it? Base spec. So not base spec at its most basic.
Yeah.
Very high much 650 horsepower. Incredibly highly modified. It's not a road car in any way at all. The Type RA in
MBR you'll be able to buy
is going to have about 300 horsepower, modified suspension, stuff like that. It's going to be a little tribute to it.
Yeah. Subaru have always been hitting that 300. They've never really gone past, whether it's an engine longevity thing or whatever. But they tend to just do suspension and body mods, don't they, and all that sort of
Long
thing.
story short, it did it in 6:57, which is half a second shy of the Porsche 918.
Yeah, it's not bad, that, really.
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
So you're saying, oh, look at the tenacious little Subaru, highly modified, whatever. But some people are looking at it and going, you can buy a standard Porsche out the showroom. And it'll still
beat it, exactly.
A dedicated 650 horsepower track car around Nürburgring.
And be slightly hybrid. And you can probably drink a coffee as you're driving around the Nürburgring doing it, as opposed to have your hands unit round your neck and all this sort of. So swings and roundabouts. To be honest, Nürburgring. But I just thought it looked amazing and sounded amazing, so that's why we should mention it.
Time for an oof.
Oof. This is the oof heard around the world because everyone's losing their shit over this one.
They are the new Honda Urban EV concept,
which everyone again in Europe.
Well, we'll get into this. Okay, we'll get into this. So it's dead futuristic looking. I personally think it's like the first concept I've seen which is proper like future car. It's so Neo-Tokyo.
Future car, that's true. It is like proper future
proper
car.
Like Neo-Tokyo. It could be an Akira.
Yeah.
It's just like it's got lovely funky little things like a digital readout and the grille.
Yeah, and the grill and at the back, and it can smile at you with that.
And stuff like that. And I have to say, it's absolutely amazing. It looks really good.
Very cool. Massive wheels on the concept, which won't actually arrive, but
so. As we all know, you're a massive car racist. Okay.
Okay.
Andrew's a car racist. We all know this.
Everyone's a little bit car racist.
Pretty much every day I get an email from Andrew complaining about the Germans, or whatever the Germans have done.
Bloody Germans. Well, the French now and again, but mainly the Germans.
Name one German car you drive around in. See, racist.
Smart.
Massive.
Smart is German, isn't
racist.
it? But I wouldn't really drive the new...
racist.
Oh, I'd drive the new 4.2. That's German. Not that racist.
Okay, mildly car racist.
Car racist.
But, and he says to me, oh, people are complaining about the so-and-so, and I'm like, oh. So I go on, I do a search for a certain website.
You won't talk about this time.
Cleared me history.
Clear.
Put on my hazmat suit.
Doused yourself.
And I went in. I have to say, I get it. In this case, I get it. And you know what winds me up? What winds me up is when I go to a community of supposed petrol heads, car fans, and you see this car, and it is obvious where its heritage is based. It's obvious. And people are going, oh, hints of Mark 1 Golf.
Looks like a Golf.
Hints of Clubman in that.
Anything European and
it's
sort of...
like these people who... I'm not saying every car fan should know about every car ever made or something like that. But
you have to try.
I don't care about vintage cars and stuff like that. We all have our lines that we go to. But for crying out loud, if you can't look at this Honda
and think that looks like an old Civic,
if you can't see that because it's so glaringly obvious, and the old Civic was such an iconic shaped little car.
And as someone I believe pointed out, possibly in the comments on this website, we're not allowed to know, actually pointed out after about 5 people said, looks like a Golf, like that advert, actually pointed out that the Mark 1 Civic had come out about 3 or 4 years before the Mark 1 Golf. So that's what we're on about. It's, you know, it's not a game of, no, that doesn't look like this, it looks like that. But I think ultimately, my thinking would be, it's obviously retro. It's obviously a retro concept. It's come out by Honda. Honda have been around for a long time. Maybe start by looking at Honda's history before you say it looks like another random company.
Yeah,
like just do a quick
when you
search.
go to type, when you're just like, when you got your fingers covered in Cheeto dust and you're all high on your Mountain Dew. Like maybe before you just go, no, I look like a Mark 1 Golf, because that's like your entire reference for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like every time you watch Game of Thrones, you have to say it's like Lord of the Rings or something. I don't know what these neckbeards like, and that's where you like maybe just stop. And maybe just go, classic Honda car. And maybe just like,
hang on a minute.
Maybe educate yourself with this massive internet that you've got in your computer.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, like you say, you know, you don't have to be into like that particular area. But if you're into cars, you tend to have like a bit of a sniff of, you kind of know roughly a few bits.
If you like cars, maybe you'd go, I'd like to know a little more about cars.
Or what is that?
Because I like cars.
What is that riffing off? I'd like to know more about that.
Rather than just go, I only know the current Volkswagen range. I'm going to compare. Because it's a bit like Fiat doing the new 500 and then people going, well, smacks of new Mini, this does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Beetle at the back, new Mini at the front.
I bet there is a comment like that somewhere.
There'll be somewhere.
There will be. So yeah, just sort of like you say, educate yourself, people, a little bit. And it doesn't. I mean, it really frustrated me because I think also, and it's something we touched on last episode with the SJ thing and the Suzuki Jimny, and it's that kind of. It's like it's weird because Japan is now really, I think, starting to get a grip on its heritage and understand its heritage. I think it's been around for a long time and it knows that it can do that sort of thing, it can reference its own history now.
Well, I think Japan's always had more of a retro future.
Yeah, true.
Especially in their early cars. I think now
that's coming. Yeah, that's just perfect. Yeah. So I think you've got to, you know, I think now Japan are doing that. Maybe Europe, the rest of the world, needs to understand that Japan, you know, Japanese companies have been around for a long time and they have a heritage to riff on. It doesn't have to be, oh, that's the Japanese copying something the Europeans did like 20 years ago or 30 years ago. It's like, no, they have their own history too. Because Japan!
They're the kind of people who are like, hey, I didn't know, what a weird coincidence. You know, an actual ship called the Titanic sank. Just like in the film.
Just like in the film, yeah.
They're the kind of people like that. Anyway, moving on. New segment of news.
For shame!
For shame!
For shame!
shame!
For shame!
I was walking along and I saw the new Skoda Citigo Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's a funky little car. It's a funky. I thought that's
Mon-
cool.
the Monty.
And even though it was Skoda, I was like,
Yeah.
what is it? What is it? I like it. It was black. It was in the right colours.
right.
And I went back and I'm like, oh, Skoda Citigo Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
I was going, "No, Monte-
Maybe I should use my internet and find
what
out
does
more about
Monte Carlo tell me? Monte Carlo tells me the Monte Carlo rally.
Yeah.
Rally cars like the Monte Carlo
that. Gonna
Mini.
be
So
a
I'm
bit pokey.
it's like, look this bad boy
yeah.
up. Looked it up. 59 horsepower, which you'd think's not too bad, but because it's so heavy and so blancmangy, and because it's like 150% golf underneath
Yeah.
or whatever, 14.5 seconds, 0 to 60.
Jesus.
For shame!
For shame!
For
Is that the Citigo then?
That is a Citigo Monte Carlo.
Jeez,
Look,
'cause
it's
this-
written down.
Because this is the same as like a while ago. People were absolutely losing their minds over the Up GTI. And it
Yeah.
was the same kind of thing. I mean, it got more than that, but not that much more. I can't remember exactly now. I've tried to wipe it from my brain, but not that much more. Everyone's going, oh my God. And he's just like, yeah, but it's not like a Mark 1 Golf anymore because it might have the same power as a Mark 1 Golf, but it weighs like 17 times more.
This is it.
It's got electric power steering and
the
it's
size of a Mark 4
just-
Golf.
Yeah, exactly.
In reality.
So, but
hot
like, that
hatch
was
is
that's poor.
It should be blisteringly
A Monty should be a little Monte
can't
Carlo.
put-
No,
should
you
not be allowed-
can't.
Like the parish of Monte Carlo.
Yeah, the parish,
Whatever.
the
they
ancient
are.
parish of
Ancient
Monte Carlo.
The Knights of
Isn't
Monte Carlo.
The Knights of Monte Carlo should be out.
They should be marching, advancing on a crusade.
Yeah, to
rid us of this.
Skoda's
Be saying no,
HQ.
no, you can't do
You
that.
can't use this. Monte Carlo is a state, isn't it?
Is it a state?
No, or is it state of Monaco?
Well, I don't know, but this was a state.
It's one or the other way. It's like
This
Monaco's
was
in
a
Monte
state.
Carlo or Monte Carlo's in
It's an
Monaco.
absolute state. This is.
Should know more. I did a geography degree.
That was the news.
That was the news and other things.
And other things will be back.
Let's go and have a look at this amazing maze outside.
Fields of wheat.
Fields of wheat.
Let's just run through them.
You can run through that. It's a tinted car and now you want to run through some wheat. It's a bit dodgy, that.
You not get the reference?
No! Oh, I've embarrassed myself.
Political reference.
Well, that's why we're not political.
It was
Go on.
Theresa May said the most reckless thing she's done is run through wheels.
Oh, Jesus,
And that reminds
yeah.
me of a great meme I saw, which was like questions and answers from like candidates, and they got one. It was do a skid, and he got Jeremy Corbyn. He's like, stand back, lads, steady on, watch this. And then it was Theresa May, and she was going, I bought new tyres. And I thought, yeah,
That sounds about right.
probably said that. She probably
She
said that.
probably said that.
Probably
It's
true.
probably
Doesn't get
real.
any more factual than that, does it, in the news?
Yeah.
Right, we'll be
Right.
back soon.